So for the barbell rows, for these slow ones, go with about 60 to 70% weight. And so first thing, find a comfortable grip. If you're going really heavy, and if you can, go double overhand. For some of you that are a little more hardcore, you can do the hook grip, where you throw your thumb around the bar, wrap your fingers around the thumb. I don't do it because I just personal preference, but in general, in terms of shoulder health, elbow health, stuff like that, the hook grip is going to be better for most people if you want to go through the growing pains of learning it. But that being said, if you're lazy like me, I go over under for my heavy sets. So all you're going to do is you're going to hinge down here, you're going to come up, hold for 2, come down for 8. And then come up again. From the side view, this is going to be one of those things, if you have back issues, especially if you're new to the programming, you're not used to kind of exercise that have a lot of shear loading, you know, like RDLs, bent over rows, stuff like that, where you have to try to hold this like bent over position. Some people will either see a lot of back fatigue, your back might get tight. And if that's the case for now, then you may want to just limit how much you bend over. So in that case, you'll probably want to stay kind of like in a half hinge, where you're keeping the bar just above the knees here, and then you're pulling up through there. If you tolerate it well, what I'll usually use like a bench, but you can also stand on plates or something that kind of allows you to elevate the surface a little bit. If you're using a 45, so what that allows you to do is you get a little more range of motion. I'll bend all the way over with it here. And at this bottom range of the motion here, you want your shoulder blades to protract all the way. You want to get a good stretch and then come up. If you want to go a little more advanced with it, and especially for the heavier sets, I like this variation. But basically what I'll do is I'll kind of round out a little bit through the upper back, and then I'll kind of stand up a little bit, and so I'll go from here, then I'll arch up at the top, you know, down for the 8 seconds, and then come up through here. Just works the traps a little bit, you know, gets the spine moving through a little bit more dynamic range of motion, increases the range of motion, and then also what it does, it kind of smooths out the force profile of the exercise. So traditionally what you see when you do this kind of exercise, especially the more bent over you are, it's really easy for this first half of the range of motion. I think it's super hard here. So I kind of like going for more stretch down here at the bottom, and then arching up at the top makes it a little more difficult down here, and it makes it a little easier at the top. So the overall amount of work you're able to do is a little bit more, and I just feel like you get better development through a larger range of motion from the exercise. Those are the main points of barbell row. One thing to add, grip width. So same thing, I usually go shoulder width or a little bit wider. Usually if I'm going heavier, I'll go pretty wide with it. I'll normally come out to here. So like that's the grip. I go pretty wide. If I'm going like high reps, I just want a little more variety in the training. I'll normally come in a little bit more narrow here, but the main thing is like you don't want to just be like pulling with your biceps. You have to take the bar and pull it right up to your chest. And that's the barbell row.